Hi class, so today we're going to be discussing doing a lit search using the keyword search option. So you'll notice here, first thing we're going to be teaching how to use these two ones, PubMed/Medline and PsycInfo. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. I'd suggest starting with PubMed first. So first go into PubMed. Hello, there we go. And so the first thing you want to do, remember at this point you should have already developed your research question and you should already have buckets of different related keywords. These are really handy because this is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to work on developing mesh terms. Okay, so mesh terms are basically medical subject headings. So these are big mesh terms for topics that I was interested in. Okay, so you can see these are major mesh terms that I was interested in using. So the broad topic might be diet, and I might have all of these different terms, but collectively, as I put all these into different mesh terms, what I found out was that these four major terms were the big mesh terms that basically covered all these. So then rather than having to put in all of these different options, I can basically just put in just these to represent my diet question. Or physical activity, I can represent that through exercise, physical exertion, or physical fitness, and physical fitness, okay? Clinical trials, meta-analyses, overweight, body weight changes. These are the major mesh terms that are doing. Okay, so one thing to note though, okay, so now let me show you how you develop your own mesh terms though. It's pretty easy. So when you're in here, first thing you want to do is you want to just go into here, scroll down and find the mesh option, okay? And then when you're in here, you can basically just, let's say like I wanted to find these diet ones, right? I know these are the mesh terms, so I won't put them in. I'm going to put in fat intake. Let's see what that would come up with. So if I go here, and then here I put in fat intake. Okay, so we got leptin. Interesting. Actually, this was different than what I did last time. Okay, but yeah, we have food intake actually here, so maybe that would be the linkage. But I guess leptin would be another one we could potentially use for this. So, so you can basically just go through and so maybe I could even add that if I was wanting to. But that's something you can do with mesh terms is actually when you put in something and it pulls up something that might be different from what you're expecting, that can also help you potentially limit and not use those mesh terms. Okay. So for this one, I probably don't actually want to put in fat intake for this. I probably care more about diet. So I can put this in now. Okay, yeah. So I want this one, but you can see how there's all these different related mesh terms, right? So when you dig in, you click on a mesh term, you can see there's all these different options here, right? Diet fads, carbohydrate restricted. So all of these things are subsumed within diet. But you could also say you're doing a search and you want to get more focused. You could always go in here now. Like I know a lot of you are interested in vegetarianism, for example. Perhaps you could pull here and just use this mesh term to find all that stuff. Okay. So that's a way you basically go through, you use your little buckets, and you try to find all the relevant mesh terms that you think are appropriate for you. Okay? So once you're done with that, the next thing you do is you go back and you use PubMed here. And sometimes it doesn't reset very well. So just hit the search button so it's definitely in PubMed. Okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to use this advanced option. Okay? So the first thing you can do, you can basically now build these options up together. So let's say here, what I wanted to do with my search was, first thing that I want you to think about is that what you're going to be doing is you're going to be combining terms together in different ways. So all of your buckets, they need to be combined in a way that because you're trying to use that bucket to find as many different possible papers. And so how you combine them is by using the OR term. Okay, so for example, with these diet ones, I want to put them together by using diet, food habit, appetite regulation, and this should really be, or energy metabolism. Okay, so let me go into that. So let's do diet or food, what was that again? Food habit, or let's put in that, food habit or appetite regulation. Okay, so now make sure all of these are set to OR because this is kind of a bucket related one. Okay, so you hit search And voila, you can see now I found 352,657. So because of the OR term we used, it pulled in a whole lot of stuff, right? So this is good, because now we basically, I feel fairly confident that I probably hit all of those. So now imagine, let's just say I'll do this as well with the exercise. I think there were two for this one, exercise, and I'll just do physical fitness for these two. And I want to do the OR term. Okay, so now I'm basically creating the physical activity bucket, or the exercise bucket. Okay, again, this comes up back with 260,000 options. You're not going to use that, obviously, but by itself. But now the strength comes is actually when you use the AND thing. So now we've got this one here, so we can add this. And then we've got this diet and appetite one, so we can add that. And now, since we've got this add option, all we do now is we search. And so what this is now doing is it's trying to find all the articles that mention both of those. And so you can see now, this is obviously really big still because it's just diet and exercise, so you would imagine there's a lot there. But we went from 350,000 to 21,000. And you can see if we keep building on this, you basically will get it more and more narrowed into your particular search. So this is a really important and valuable way to find and get the articles that you care about. So I'm just going to keep building on this just because... just to limit a little bit more. So let's just do overweight, and then let's do meta-analyses, because I think that was the other one. Or is it analysis? Let's make sure. Yeah, you got to make sure you use the exact terms they're going for the mesh terms to pop up. So meta-analysis. Okay, put that in, and so now if I put all these in, and imagine I put all the other mesh terms in, now I've got 87. Great. So now I know there's 87 meta-analyses related to weight loss that involve both physical activity and nutrition. So now at this point what you do is you just read all of the ones, usually this list should be somewhere between anywhere between 50 to 500 is kind of reasonable depending on how focused your research question is and how good of search terms you have, okay? So what you do is you read through all of these ones that you think are, that have gotten into this level, and you just read the titles and actually I don't want that one. And you just kind of pick the ones that you think are most relevant, and so I'm just kind of picking these more at random. I'm not reading these in detail, but read these in detail. Because I want to then say, once you're done with this, then all you do is you go to send to, choose file, and then this is what you'll need to do for your file. You notice that this is taking download the 10 items. See, these are the ones that I've selected so far. See, selected 10. And then sort by recently added, or you can do it however you want, really. It's fine with that as the default. So you create this file. This will create a text file. There it is. Name it. Use the nomenclature, just putting your last name first before this. Then just put it in a place where you can find it. Doesn't really matter. Save it, and then this is what you then upload into Blackboard, okay, in the assignment option. So now, this is one of the keyword search engines. This should hopefully find a lot of relevant articles for you. But say there's different search databases, and so each one has kind of slightly different foci. So that's why I'm having you learn 4 different search options here. So the other one to learn here, using the exact same concept, is PsycInfo. And you'll see this looks very similar conceptually to what you just saw in PubMed. Second. So here you see we got our AND rows and our OR rows and all this kind of stuff. So you can build on this too, and for here you can use either these field codes to try to find related terms. This is telling you what each one of these things mean if you try to put in this context, or probably more important for here is the thesaurus. So you can try to put in terms here, just like with the mesh terms, where you put this in, and let's say I put in diet. Let's see all the words that are related to diet here. So here you can get all this list. For this one, I just use diets. You can select these, and notice you even got these already down here. Oops. Let me pull it up a little higher. You can see I can add all these things to my search right here. So really nice, quick, easy system for adding all these. So let's just say I'm going to add this to my add search. Haha, there we go. I've got this. And then I can do things like add or ORs. So again, the exact same concept. Put a bunch of your things together in ORs that are in the buckets together, and then use the add to put them together. And then I have the instructions for you for exporting this in a text file. But it's again, it's pretty simple. Another nice feature, though, that is built into PsycInfo is all these different filters that you can do. So you can focus just on journal articles or methodologies. Like I don't have to put the meta-analysis per se here. It's already built into here. Or populations, age groups. You can see these are already built into here. So it's really nicely set up, this one, I think, for quickly finding the articles. But again, it's the exact same concept. If you want things to kind of expand, use or. If you want to focus in, you use and. Okay, so again, for your assignments, these are the search engines I'd like you to use. Okay, thank you so much.